I'm going to have some opponents, and the opponents are going to be the instructors there. The Navy SEALs, the Marines, Bedros, the instructors who are there to push us and get us out of our element and challenge us and test us. So those to me are the opponents that I would face, let's say, at a competition. But really, when it came down to over the years of competing, the true opponent that you would constantly face was the one inside of you, the one right here. Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Off the Mat. My name is Josh Dumoulin, and thank you for tuning in today. Now, today I'm coming at you guys by myself here because I leave tomorrow for the MDK Project, and I just wanted to jump on and I wanted to talk a little bit about what it is the MDK Project is, why I am doing it, and sort of the feelings I have leading up to it. So you may have heard in previous episodes me talk about the MDK Project and this thing that I'm doing coming up in February. So depending on when you're listening to this, I leave February 19th and I start on February 21st. The MDK Project is a 75-hour experience for men who want to level up in their business and in their life. This is run by a man named Bedros Keuilian. He's a serial entrepreneur who I just personally have a lot of respect for, and somebody I have been following for a lot of years, just, whether it has been about his insights on business and in life. And of course, this is also run by a Navy SEAL, Ray Kashkar, and a Marine, Steve Eckert. Now, this is, as I said, it is a 75-hour experience for men, and I've just kind of pulled it up, got the website behind me, so if you are watching this on YouTube, you will be able to see some of the stuff I might be pulling up here, just so that you guys can get an idea of kind of what it is I'm going to be doing. But right on the site here, as you can see, it is a level up in business and life and as purpose-driven leaders, and that's sort of why I'm taking on this thing. Now, the whole focus of the project is revolved around the the 5 F-bombs. Your faith, your family, your fitness, your finances, so that way you can lead that last F-bomb, a life of fulfillment. And this is a very physically demanding 3-day experience. As you can imagine, being run by a Navy SEAL and a Marine, there is going to be a lot of physical things that we're going to be doing, and we are going to be challenged physically. But a big reason why I'm going, obviously having a martial arts background, I enjoy being physically tested, being physically pushed. Being an ex-competitor, I really enjoyed being able to challenge myself. And this is something physically, it speaks to me quite a bit, but mostly when I take a look at the mental work that goes on during the project, this is definitely something that, speaks to me. I believe by doing difficult things, by pushing ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, we find our higher self, our true self. When we test ourselves, when we go through adversity, we find exactly who we are in those difficult moments. And that's why I enjoy doing difficult things. If you do follow me on social media, I do of course I'm training, but I do things like cold plunges, rucks with 50, 60 pound weights, and trying to test myself in various ways. And though those are things that I'm doing to train for the project, they are also things that I, believe it or not, enjoy doing. Are they difficult? Yes, but knowing that you can do those difficult things and survive and thrive through them, you really find out exactly what it is that you are capable of. So going into this here a little bit, as I said, the project is a 75-hour experience, and there's very little to no sleeping involved in this. They really pack in those 3 days. There's some food. I don't know a lot of those details because I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm given little ideas and little tastes from people, what to expect. And I do understand that there's very little sleeping. There's enough food to kind of keep us going. But we are going to be tested physically and mentally. as Navy SEAL and Marine instructors who are going to be there, they are going to make sure that we are going to be pushed. We are going to be challenged. We are going to be tested. And that's why I'm doing it. That is why I've signed up for this. Now, the crazy part is people go to this thing, and this is a 75-hour experience for men only. I should add that. Men go to this here, and I believe they have a 40% dropout rate. So for every 10 men that go, 4 midway through or at the beginning or near the end, at some point through the 75 hours, they ring the bell. They have an actual bell you would ring if you decide you quit. And that's the thing. It's a decision on whether or not you quit, not them saying you're not good enough. It is whether or not you can mentally keep going in those moments of weakness and those moments of doubt when you don't think you are worthy of being there. You have the choice. You have the option to ring the bell. And I like that idea of, of the bell there. They mentally play it on you, so that way, they constantly keep it there in front of you, and they leave it there as an option. And they constantly remind you that you can go and ring that bell at any time. And that is just exactly like life, the way I see it. In my business, at home, as a husband, as a father, as a martial arts instructor, I have the option of giving up. And there's times where I certainly feel like I do want to give up. I do want to ring that bell and stop, not go anymore, quit. And it does take a lot of mental training to tell yourself to keep going. So being able to do something like this, be put in situations that are going to test me physically, mentally, and emotionally, and to find my higher self, to find the better version of myself, the best version of myself, so that way I can set an example for my boys and for all the people that I teach as well. Now, I want to kind of get into a little bit how I'm feeling leading up to this. Obviously, I'm quite nervous. I'm anxious. I'm looking forward to going. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing if I am capable of lasting through something like this. And all of the stuff that you get to see, all of the exciting things that they put on social media is just a small piece of what it really is about. Again, testing ourselves. So testing myself emotionally under pressure with that sort of environment where we're constantly going to be put in situations where we're going to fail. We're intentionally set to fail certain things, whether it's a team building exercise with our group. We're going to be put in situations where we have no choice. We're just going to fail at them. And they're designed that way, but they're designed that way so that way they can see how you handle a situation when you fail. And I know that I need a lot of work when it comes to how I handle pressure situations. Believe it or not, even with all of the training I have, obviously I have, some level of, calmness. I don't react emotionally, but sometimes I can, even when I don't want to, or maybe when I've caught off guard. So being able to really put myself in a situation so that way I can really see exactly how I handle situations that I maybe have never been in. So I'm a little nervous. I'm anxious. I'm just feeling the exact same way I would leading up to a tournament. When you go to a tournament, you're excited. You want to get there, and you want to see how you're doing. You have the opponents that you're going to be facing. But the way I look at it is this is reminding me a lot about, or a lot like a tournament where I'm going to have some opponents, and the opponents are going to be the instructors there. The Navy SEALs, the Marines, Bedros, the instructors who are there to push us and get us out of our element and challenge us and test us. So those to me are the opponents that I would face, let's say, at a competition. But really, when it came down to over the years of competing, the true opponent that you would constantly face was the one inside of you, the one right here, and the one who would put those, limiting beliefs on yourself, the one that would tell yourself that you were not good enough. It was really me who was the real opponent. No matter how many events I would go to, no matter how big, no matter how strong, no matter how challenging, no matter how skilled my opponent was, the real opponent, when it really came down to any event, any competition, no matter what level or caliber it was, the real opponent really came down to me. It was me. I was the real opponent that I had to get over. And I actually found myself in the years prior, I actually found myself getting in my own way. And I think there was an element there where I never fully got over. And that's part of the reason why, again, doing something like the project does speak to me, because I know there's certain things about myself that I get in my own way with. And those are things that I want to break free of and learn how to really overcome. So that way, when I need to pass these skills on to my boys, I'm going to be able to do that in a way so that way I can make sure that they don't have the same sort of things that I have growing up and into their adult life. Or when they do face these things and they get in their own way, I'm going to know how to navigate them through all of those things and hopefully be able to help them grow as well, and hopefully not pass on a lot of the same things that I've had. So I think that's really when we take a look at ourselves as parents, I think we all want that a little bit. We don't want to pass on some of these traits that we know we have, and that's really what I want to try not to do, right? I want to be able to take those things that I know have held me back and make sure I don't pass them on to my boys. So anyway, that's kind of how I'm feeling leading up to it. But the one thing I do know, no matter how painful the days are going to be, no matter how much pressure, how sore I'm going to be, I feel as though I'm not going to want it to end. I remember being a competitor, and no matter how well or bad an event went, whether I did really well and got the gold medal or did okay, maybe won a couple rounds but lost and maybe got a third, or maybe not even on the podium, or maybe just even didn't do well at all. Like, it didn't matter really how it went. No matter how nervous, no matter how anxious I was for a tournament, I know that at the end of the matches, whether it was the sparring or the patterns, I would have crawled through broken glass to get back in to the ring. No matter how good I did, no matter how bad I did, I would have given up anything. When it was done at that moment, when the tournament day was over, or right after the match was done, I would have given up anything to just get back in there for one more minute, just to feel all of that again, the adrenaline of combat, the adrenaline of the patterns and challenging and testing my skills and my precision and all of the things that I have worked hard for. I would have given up anything to get back in. And I feel as though this is a very similar feeling. And I feel like no matter how sore I'm going to be at the end of the 75 hours, no matter how tired I'm going to be, when I'm done, my, of course, goal, like anybody else, would be to not ring the bell. So when I am done and I have completed and I have been allowed to attend the graduation ceremony, I know that I'll give up anything to get back there. And I know that when it's done, I won't be able to, because I will have already gone through it. And I know that the next chapter will be there for me, whether it is taking those skills and helping other men or other young men along the path of life with lessons that I have learned, or maybe future people that I meet who are going to sign up for the project as well, and I can hopefully help out them with either training or preparing mentally and physically for it. So whatever evolution afterwards comes through, I'll take that on as it comes. But I know that at the end of the 75 hours, no matter how good it feels to be done, I know that I'll want to go through it all again because of how it feels. I just know that as being a competitor, I would be sore and tired and exhausted and drained emotionally from an event, because you prepared and you were nervous and anxious and all of those feelings go away. But I know at the end of them, I always wanted to get back in. So that's kind of how I feel leading up to it. And depending on when you're listening to this, I could already be done, and I will be doing another podcast episode, another solo one here, and talking about my experience with the project, talking about the feelings I had afterwards. And I'm really looking forward to sharing those things with other people. So if you are listening to this and you just want to know more about the project or my experience with it, like I said, tune in for a future episode, because there will be another episode where I talk about, again, my experience, good, bad, ugly, all of it. And or if you if you haven't heard that one yet and you want to find out more about it and how to sign up, or you have signed up and you just want to know what I did or how I prepared mentally, physically, emotionally for it, please reach out to me. I'll leave, leave a comment, reach out to the show directly. We'll leave, our contact info in there. So if you do want to find out more, you'll be able to do that. But that's what I want to leave you guys with is my journey that I'm about to take on as I leave and prepare. I'm came into the office to get a few last minute things done, and now I'm on my way back home to spend the rest of the evening with Nicole and Rocky. Ryder's at a sleepover, but I'm on my way out tomorrow, and I just wanted to really record this. That way I had a before recording so I could leave something for you guys and my family, so that way they could see exactly what it was I was feeling, the nervousness, the anxiousness, how I was feeling, but also at the same time, the excitement I have and the things I'm looking forward to learning about myself afterwards, and really being able to come back and share with other people, so that way I can hopefully help other people grow and become the best versions of themselves. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode. I really look forward to getting back on here again and sharing all of the experience I have of this entire experience afterwards. So please, 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 if you enjoyed this episode or any of our episodes, please you leave us a review. And if you have anything that you've learned from any of our episodes, please, 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 it would mean a big deal to me if you would share those episodes with other people who might be able to find value from them. And until we talk again, my name is Josh Dumlin, and you've been listening to Off the Mat.